Greetings from Orcas Island. It's Saturday. This is the annual car show. This looks like we got a Chevy here. This kind of looks like it was helped along with distress. This is a 60 Biscayne. Here's a Jag. Here's a black Bel Air, I'm guessing. Oh, it's a 210 post. 55. Here's a zero emission car. This guy's getting this little car here. Here's another eco car. This is a guy that is the tow guy on the island. That's a Chevy truck. Hi, how you doing? How can you not like a Firebird? That's probably my choice for best of show. That's a pretty car. '67 400. Nice car. Look at that interior. Nice white interior. Floor shift. Next to it, we've got nice black 73 Chevy Camaro. He's lamenting that it's getting wet.
I saw it this morning, and I thought, fuck it, I'm gonna come anyway, It's gonna get wet for the first time. I didn't even know about this until I seen the cars here. I haven't gotten around to it.
We got the smaller Europeans. See, it hasn't rained here in a couple months, so this is unusual. Here's a 76 Midget. Got an MG here. Got a requisite Porsche for the island. Let's see what this is. 75, silver anniversary. Guy has a Saab Turbo. Interestingly enough, I used to live in Post Falls, Idaho in the early 80s, and there was a Saab dealership right by where we lived. And I'd go down in the evening and I'd look at the Saabs and I thought, God, I want to own one of those one day. And then I learned what was involved in owning one, and I don't think I'd get one if somebody gave it to me. Here's a Beamer. 72. Got another American Chevy here. It's a pretty car. I think I know this guy on the island. He's got a pair of Avantis. You don't see those that often. But he lives by my friend in Deer Harbor. So that's kind of interesting. Here's a 63. It's kind of a handsome car. And this is the one I always see when I drive down to Deer Harbor. Here's another 63. Another MG. Got a Mustang. Got another Porsche. Got another MG. Putting the top on. So it's just lightly sprinkling here. So there's like 23 I don't know, 24 vehicles today. We're right by the airport on Orcas. This is where my friend keeps his plane in one of the hangars. So we'll walk over here, show you some folks gathered under the tent. Here's what I drove this morning. And it wasn't the Chevy, it was the Power Wagon my friend owns. It's been in Kathy's family since new. It came to the island in 2003. And it's got like 70,000 miles on it right now. So it's a nice one family owned Power Wagon. This is for sale, the Chevy. So I'm gonna interview Gary. He's gonna tell us about it. I'm gonna do that next. So that's on the next video live from Orcas Island, Saturday morning. Okay, we're continuing with Jim. Now, this is what he's got for sale, folks. He's got a little picture book here. Isn't that kind of old-fashioned and cute? But he's got a 42 Chevy Stakebed pickup. He restored it, okay?
That's where it came out of a barn in Spokane.
Okay, he found it in a barn in Spokane, and it looks like it was what, a dump truck?
It was a stake bed for hauling grain.
A stake bed for grain, okay. And that's what it looked like.
And that's what it looks like now.
And that's what it looks like now.
And you can see...
That was what it looked like when you got it.
Right. It was kept in a barn, so I didn't have a lot of problems with rust or anything.
Okay.
So I stripped it to bare metal, down to the chassis. And I couldn't, back in 42, you couldn't get a chrome because of the war.
Right.
But I wanted to dress it up, so I ordered all new chrome.
Okay, so see what he did, folks? That's what he had. This is what he's got.
Yeah,
he wanted to dress it up.
That was not cheap.
Right. That was not cheap.
And here's my dad and I making a new steak.
Now, when did you do this, Bill?
30 years ago.
30 years ago, he did this, Bill, folks.
Jim. Yeah, okay. There's, before we got the bed on it, that's where I stripped her down. That's the original engine. And it was running fine. I have it sitting in the corner of the shop, but I wanted full pressure lubrication instead of splash.
Okay.
So I bought a rebuilt 261 out of a 58 Chevy, and I did all the speed equipment on it, which you'll see in a minute.
Okay.
I did the stock interior colors, the pebble finish copper, reupholstered it.
Okay.
And painted everything, of course. And it's set in my garage. I put 700 miles on it in 30 years. Wow. Here's the engine after the rebuild, the 261 bored 40 over. I damage gained a side plate, aluminum twirls. And I put dual carbs, Offenhauser dual carb intake, Fenton headers, and glass packs. It's a little loud, but I like it that way. Here's the engine. It was almost too pretty to stick back in the truck. It hasn't been washed since I did it.
Now, who did the build on the engine?
That was Gustav. He's a fine machinist over in Anacortes.
Okay, so that was done in Anacortes.
Piston Services.
Okay, so let's turn that one right there so we get a picture of the truck right there. Okay, all right, with that nice chrome grille. All right.
And I think these are just more pictures
of the pre-build. And there's the engine installed.
That's it.
Okay, so Jim, how do people get a hold of you to discuss this truck? How do they get a hold of you? 360-376-5738. 5738. And that number again is
360-376-5738.
5738. Folks, this is
an answering machine, and if I'm not around, I will call back.
Okay, so this is on Orcas Island. It runs and drives. It could drive down to the ferry, and then you there's no charge to drive into Anacortes. So you have to pay to get out here, though. But you could drive it home literally if you lived within a reasonable distance. So give Jim a call.
It has have a higher speed rear end. It
Okay.
has the 4-speed, and you need to know how to double clutch because it's
Double clutch
You know, you
to
have
drive
to be
it.
older.
Okay.
And careful with your shifts. I have a spare transmission, spare
Okay.
engine,
Spare engine and
and a
transmission
pile of parts.
to go with it. All right.
with it.
Give Jim a call. I'm going to wrap this up. Everybody have a good Saturday. Okay, this just went.